Lucky Sutton has already carried it 12 times for 67 yards and a touchdown. Pulling guard here opens a hole for Sutton. He's got a first down run and a punishing second effort, and he's down at the 18-yard line. This is a heck of a trap block.
We just talked about that, right? Watch the trap block come around, and Lucky does a great job again of getting skinny, getting through the hole, and delivering the blow at the end of the run. Be the hammer, not the nail. And Lucky is an example of that.
I feel like somebody's going to break one here. It might be Sutton. Play fake. Denegal going vertical here for Donovan Burr, and he's got it inside the 10. Another big play for the Aztecs. It'll be their second. Welsh had the other, and they are set up right now. What are you calling here in a situation like this? 3rd and long. You're right there at the edge of the red zone.
You know, because we know that Coach Lewis wants to be aggressive here. I might run the football off the right side. I got some big guys over there and see if I can pick up half of this. And if I can, then I'll go for it on 4th down.
Denegal's going to pass. Denegal fires outside the numbers. It's caught by Jordan Napier. He's got a first down. He's out of bounds. And it'll be 1st and goal for the Aztecs.
Yeah, and Jordan Napier, I mean, you know, he's the type of guy, you just watch him get the ball in his hands. He's special. There's a flag down here on the field, and it looks as if that play is going to get erased.
An eligible man downfield, number 15 on the offense. It's 5 yards. It's 3rd down.
Wow, they saddled Jackson Ford, the tight end, who has a catch already in this opening quarter. His first penalty. It's back to control the controllables, right? They were striving for 0 penalties, and they've got 2 big ones here on this drive. Got to pay for the exact same real estate again. And they're going to draw him off sides right here. No flag goes up. Now it does. Throw to the end zone. It's caught. Touchdown, Jacob Bostic.
And that's what you got to do when you're that. Oh, and there's another flag on the field. Not exactly sure what the call is here, but it looks like that play is going to stand. Looks like it was a free play for San Diego State, and Bostic, if this stands, is going to get his first career touchdown as an Aztec.
Number 97 on the defense. He was in the neutral zone at the snap.
It is an offsides. It'll be declined, and Bostic will make it 13-0 Aztec. Inside the red zone, opening drive for the Aztecs on opening night. 5 minutes and 15 seconds into this one. Denegal with pressure coming backside, got a man open, and it's caught down at the 2-yard line. It's the tight end, Jackson Ford. Didn't play last year. His first career catch there for the redshirt freshman. 2nd down and goal. Opening drive for the Aztecs has progressed 6.5 minutes here. Opening night, Snapdragon Stadium. There are 3 in the backfield here. Denegal's going to hand it off. Cardwell to the goal line. And they're going to stand him up and drive him back again at the 1-foot line.
What a great job by Stony Brook. They're definitely not backing down. This San Diego State offensive line is 330 across the board. Stony Brook is overmatched, let's be honest. And
by 60 pounds, right?
Great job of stepping in there by number 2, A.J. Robert, to make that tackle.
Yeah. Last year, this was an amazing red zone defense for Stony Brook. They were a team 2 years ago that went 0-10, turned it around on defense. They went 8-4 last year. What a dramatic turnaround. Again, 3 in the backfield. Denegal with a handoff. Touchdown, Lucky Sutton.
Just a matter of time before you give the football to your 6'2", 225-pound stud running back behind a huge offensive line, and they made that look easy for their first touchdown of the season.
Yeah, opening drive after the touchback, they march all the way down the field, and Lucky Sutton with his 3rd career touchdown. It's his 4th season in the program for the kid that went to Cathedral Catholic. He had 37 total carries coming in for 200 yards and 2 scores over his first 3 seasons. And here's Gabriel Placencia to add the extra point for the Aztecs. And what a terrific opening drive for San Diego State. They take the rock, they march it down. That's a little RPO there. Is it not, JR? 7:39 to go, opening quarter of play. The Aztecs with a 7-0 lead over Stony Brook. First down and 10 for the Aztecs, just outside the red zone. Another zone read, and it goes to Lucky Sutton, a lot of heavy lifting on this opening drive. He'll be 3 yards short of another first down as A.K. Kamara, the transfer from Maine, makes the stop.
Yeah, Coach Lewis had a hat on that said RPO. You may think that stands for
timeout for an injury to a defensive player.
Today it stands for run, power, often. They're going to get a heavy dose of this San Diego State backfield.
Here, the third quarter, remember the run, power, often hat? Well, that's now been changed to run, punt, often. We've had 6 punts in the third quarter. My goodness, still 5:22 to go. Here's a handoff, and it's Dempster running right into Tano Latuli. Let's revisit our Quinto keys to the game that we showed you back in the opening quarter. It was the RPO, the Aztec fast, right, and Jaden Denigal.
Yeah, we've got 35 carries, 140 yards, and a touchdown by 5 different ball carriers for San Diego State. So that RPO is absolutely working. We haven't seen very many penalties from San Diego State tonight, a couple, but what they really wanted to focus on was those pre-snap penalties, and they seem to have cleaned that up really well. And Denigal's doing a great job.
4th and goal from the 2, handoff Lucky Sutton. He comes back, and Lucky Sutton is in for the touchdown. RPO, baby, right there. Let's get back out the hats that we put away in the middle of the third quarter. Emmanuel is going to take off. Emmanuel in space right there. Not only a Cinemax classic, but a sight for sore eyes here at San Diego State. Little mobility from the quarterback position. How about that turnaround from 0-10 to 8-4? I think if I took a team from 0-10 to 8-4, I would walk into my 80s office dressed like a collaboration of Lloyd and Harry from Dumb and Dumber. You know, the orange and blue with the tuxedo and the top hat. And I just say, you know what? Gator needs some walking around money. Chalmers with the stop right there. He was named the starter on August the 13th. And he's learning the offense coming from Michigan. Sean Lewis says he's like a new fighter pilot, right? And he's learning his plane. He calls Denigal and Napier Goose and Maverick. Yeah, you saw that ball on the ground. The Aztecs with just 9 turnovers a year ago. That was the 3rd fewest in all of NCAA football. Play fake, Denigal backside pressure comes. He throws and trying to dive to come back to get it is Napier. That was going to be an awfully tough connection there between Goose and Maverick. Denigal on first down, 17-0 Aztecs. Just over 5 minutes to go before half. He looked left and then underthrows Jordan Napier. Boy, at this point, they don't look much like Maverick and Goose, do they? Maybe they look like Maverick and Goose when they had that spin out and landed in the ocean in the first Top Gun.
And that was the F in focus, right? Like, we're talking about Aztec fast. They have to be able to focus and focus the entire game to avoid those types of mistakes.
Big third down here. Little play fake. Denigal throwing vertically and a catch at the 48 for a first down. It's Jacob Bostic again on this drive. It ended the year on a 6-game losing streak and came together 220 days ago officially. Start prepping for the 2025 season. Little play fake. Denigal going to fire. He's got a man open, and Mikey Welsh. Welsh has got a first down and more, and he's to the Stony Brook 25. Awarded a scholarship the night of Fan Fest. That is his first career catch in 9+ games.
Mikey Welsh, what an unbelievable moment and an unbelievable memory for him and this Aztecs offense.
They're running. It's Lucky Sutton. Boy, I always said when I was doing those Servite games a couple of years ago, I said, forget about T-Mac as the wide receiver. Teteroa McMillan. Mikey Welsh is the guy for me. Talked about him starting 9 games for Stony Brook 2 years ago. Back in the mix here this year. The addition being Zealous from Hampton, who started the game. Case dumps it off out of the backfield. Catch made by Dempster, and Latuli again stops him for no gain. Will bring up a 4th down and 5. Man, this guy is everywhere on the field.
Yeah, and this Aztec football team is playing very disciplined football. You know, you got a lot of crossing routes going on there, and that's designed to confuse the defense. But Tano Latuli, no, you cannot confuse me. See ball, get ball, hit ball. Great job by Tano.
All we have had is punts so far. Napier's going to get a chance to return another one. This will be his 6th return here. Tries to bring it outside the numbers between the boundary. He's going to cut back and gets popped out of bounds in plus territory at the 40-yard line. Jordan Napier, what an athlete. 46-inch vertical. Sean Lewis calls him a freak athlete, JR.
Yeah, and if you're a freak athlete, put him on the punt return. Put him on the kickoff return. Napier does a great job of being patient, letting his blockers make his plays, and then turning and accelerating up the field and protecting the football and giving the Aztec plus side field position on this drive.
Yeah, best starting field position of the night. Here's a kid that was in the portal for about a week, and they were able to hold on to him. And 3rd and long. Here we go. They have the likes of Henderson out there, and August Salvati on the edge. He has the only sack of the game. 3 guys will put their hand down, and they're going to come after Quis here. He better get rid of it quickly. 3rd and 9. Pressure comes. Salvati gets there. Oh, what a great job. He got there. August Salvati, 1 of 2 to get there for San Diego State. The other being Jared Bodie. Yeah, they pin their ears back, huh? Stony Brook's going to have to snap this ball on 3rd down here. 4-man rush. White gets through, doesn't quite get to the quarterback, and nearly a diving interception by Chris Johnson. Wow, the senior cornerback is outstanding. They were targeting Dietz. That'll stop the clock with 3 seconds to go. You see why Chris Johnson is on the Senior Bowl watch list with teammate Trey White. And it was White with the pressure. Zealous had to get rid of it and almost led to a Chris Johnson interception and a takeaway. It is a venue synonymous with the rich history of high school football here in Southern California. Tonight, we will write another chapter in the storied annals of Veterans Stadium here in Long Beach. The Long Beach Poly Jackrabbits are high school football royalty with the richest of traditions and a legacy of Hall of Famers and NFL stars. This year's edition features a formidable defense they hope carries them all the way to a 21st section championship. Their opponents, the Griffins, have lost Alamitos, led by one of the top quarterbacks in the nation. They also believe that anything is possible in the magical month of November. Welcome to the Ford CIF Southern Section Playoffs, quarterfinal edition. It's 5th seed Long Beach Poly versus 4th seed Los Alamitos. Well, hi, everybody. Welcome out to the LBC alongside Greg Biggins. I'm Steve Quis. Anna Conley will come up shortly. And what a quarterfinal matchup we have for you here tonight. The two schools are located less than 8 miles apart. They both use the Vet as their home field. And it's like a lunar eclipse, Biggie. We don't see it much in this matchup, but when we do, it's absolutely spectacular.
Yeah, no, I would love to see them play every single year, and like very similar styles, defense, offense, running back, quarterbacks. They don't like each other a lot. There'll be a ton of trash talk. I'm honestly as excited about this game as I was for Bosco Mater Day. I can't wait for this game tonight.
And we're blessed for the second straight week to feature right here on TV a 5-star quarterback. Last week it was Nico Iamaleava of Warren, who's headed to Tennessee. This week it is Malachi Nelson, who will matriculate at USC next year.
Matriculate, yeah, USC playing tonight as well. No, I've said it before. For me, I think he's a college-level quarterback right now in terms of the way he reads the game. Armtown obviously is off the charts. I've said it before. It's the year of the quarterback in 23. And I think Malachi is probably the best pure thrower in this year's class, but it's the IQ. It's the way the game slows down for him. It's the decision-making. We're going to see how his toughness is. They're going to come after him all night long. Long Beach Poly will. I love to see how Malachi holds up to that pressure.
Well, perhaps we've made too much about the 5-stars this year in the area. Long Beach Poly quarterback Darius Curry has produced the same numbers as the area's 2 5-star quarterbacks.
No, I think Darius is a special, unique talent as well. 2024 class, just a junior right now. But you look at at the numbers that he's put up, like you said, very comparable to anybody in the 2024 class. Doesn't run a lot. I kind of label him a dual threat guy, but he's more of a pure pocket guy. Ribs the football, big-time touchdown to interception ratio, big-time leader, tough kid. Battled back from a torn ACL. That's an easy kid to root for.
33 touchdowns, just like the 5-star Nelson, who he'll battle here tonight. Hey, we'd be remiss if we didn't mention how good Poly's defense has been the last 2 months. They enter this playoff game against that high-octane offensive Los Al, having pitched 5 straight shutouts. We'll see what we'll give here tonight. The kickoff between Los Al and Long Beach Poly comes your way next.
Want the latest on today's games? Just tell Siri, show me Mountain West football scores.
All right, a rule change from last year now permits the use of sideline technology. As a result, Mountain West Conference teams are excited to be using iPad Pro and iPad Air to review multiple angles of in-game video so coaches and players can make real-time adjustments, allowing athletes to compete at the highest level. Now, the Aztec offense competing at the highest level right now. Placencia 42-yard field goal makes it 17-0 Aztecs with 8:31 to go here in quarter number 2 on opening night from Snapdragon Stadium. Steve Quis, J.R. Tolver, the Aztec Hall of Famer, into the Aztecs Hall of Fame in 2012. Did I get that right?
2012, yes, sir.
2012 all-time leading receiver, which is saying a lot when you got the likes of Darnay Scott and some of these guys
Will
at San Diego State.
Azakim, Webster Slaughter.
That's right.
I mean, we've had some really great.
And how many years did you have in the NFL?
4 years.
4 years in the, and 1 with Dallas, or how many with Dallas?
2 with Dallas.
2 with Dallas.
Two with the Dolphins.
Happy with how the Micah Parsons thing worked out for your Cowboys?
Man, that surprised me.
Me too. They're throwing on first down. Zealous rolls out, kind of lobs it up. It's incomplete. Chris Johnson in coverage.
If I'm the Seawolves, I don't abandon what I know works best. What works best is getting the ball in Dempster's hands.
Yeah.
He can change the game at any point, but you got to give him an opportunity to touch the rock.
Second down and 10 from back of their own 25-yard line. It's an offense that averaged 404 yards last year, 170 on the ground, en route to an 8-4 season. The biggest turnaround in the FCS. Quick throw and a catch, Des Williams. And he's brought down there by Bryce Phillips, who's making his 35th consecutive start, the most of any Aztec on this roster.
Yeah, Bryce Phillips actually declared for the NFL draft last year and decided to come back. His brother plays for the Atlanta Falcons, so he's got great football pedigree. The Aztecs are happy to have Bryce Phillips back on the other side of Chris Johnson.
3rd down and 5. Seawolves are 2 of 5 on 3rd down so far. Zealous with the pressure coming from the outside, and not 1 but 2 flags. He was looking for Shakai Carson out of the backfield. Hold everything. Kenny Ray, as they call him, will tell us about this penalty right here on 3rd down and 5.
Prior to the pass, holding number 0 on the defense. It'll be 10 yards from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Wow, they got the hold, but on Bryce Phillips, maybe not the hold our viewers at home might have thought they saw, or the Aztec fans, on one of the tackles, but that's on Phillips. And again, it's another penalty against the Aztecs that keeps an offensive drive going here for Stony Brook. So they strive for no penalties. There's going to be some laps afterwards, huh? Here's Carson, who ran for just 111 yards all last season. And so they'll give Dempster a bit of a break here in the early going. Dempster already with 6 carries for 35 yards. Tavis Tuioti, who had a sack in the opener last year against Texas A&M Commerce. 2nd down and 9. Zealous is going to take off and run, is going to get grabbed from behind after a gain of only a yard. It's Ryan Henderson, a junior. He's one of those guys that's supposed to be in the pin back your ears package on 3rd down and 7.
Yeah, absolutely. And we talked to Coach Orich about this, and he talked about Trey White and Ryan Henderson, Brady Nassar, August Selfani, Miles King. He said when they get in a situation where they want to bring pressure, watch for all those guys to be on the field.
3rd and 8. Zealous pressure comes. White hit him. Catch made. And it's not going to be enough for a first down. Grab was made by Jace Freeman. Brought down by Chris Johnson. And on will come the punting unit for the Seawolves. I
really like the way Chris Johnson dissects this. At the end of the day, you can bend, but you can't break. And watch Johnson come out of nowhere and make a bigger tackle on a bigger man to get the Seahawks off the field.
Napier back to return yet another punt. I'm glad you mentioned Rob Ulrich as the new defensive coordinator. He handled the edge rushers last season. And under his tutelage, Trey White led the Mountain West Conference with 12.5 sacks. So now they have a new coach there. And Coach Rob, who was a defensive coordinator at Idaho, gets promoted in this system as Napier is down to the 22-yard line.
I'm really impressed with Napier.
Yeah, me too. So Jaden Denigal, his night, the injury early, about 3 or 4 snaps in. He had to go out for a few plays. He yielded to Bert Emanuel, and then the trainers got him patched up. He's right back in and led him on now 3 scoring drives here in the first half.
And that injury looked bad. I mean, when he came down, I've seen separated shoulders a lot and broken collarbones, and I feared the worst. But he was right back out there. Hats off to Patrick Spiedelmeyer and that San Diego State athletic training staff to get him back on the field. And he's looked great. Doesn't look like he has any immobilities as a player at this point.
Lucky Sutton in the backfield for the 6th drive of the first half for the Aztecs. They've scored on 3 of their first 5. Denigal over the middle, wide open. Tight end with a first down catch and up to the 40-yard line. Ryan Wolfer, redshirt freshman from Liberty High School in Peoria, Arizona. So now you have a couple of first-year tight ends, Jackson Ford and Ryan Wolfer, who have the catch. And for the second time in this game, Jason Allen is shaken up on a play for the Seawolves.
And Denigal does a great job with his eyes. He looks outside, he moves the defense with his eyes, and he comes back to a wide open receiver in the middle of the field. Great job by Wolfer and Denigal.
This is punishing here. Watch Allen just get bent right back. His right leg. We wish him the best. Again, the Seawolves will charter home after this one. Won't get back till about 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. They're a team from Long Island. I was talking with their staff beforehand. I got a kick out of this, that a lot of the times when they commute to games, they're so far out on Long Island, they'll use the ferry to go to Connecticut. So when they go to New Hampshire, the whole bus will go on the ferry. They'll ferry across the Long Island Sound and wherever, I don't know if it drops them off in New Haven or Bridgeport or whatever, and then we'll continue the rest of the way. So they've used it quite a bit for all their sports.
Yeah, this is one of those things you don't like to see, especially in an opener. You got guys out here playing hard, doing everything they can to contribute to their team. The injuries are always a part of the game, but you never get used to them, and you never like to see them.
Well, Jason Allen is just a sophomore as you look at Billy Kosh in his second year, the youngest coach to ever win Coach of the Year in FCS. 32 years old, came from Western Michigan, where he's the offensive coordinator. He's been to San Diego one time in his life. His father was the defensive coordinator for those great Illinois teams that used to take on Arizona and Desert Swarm in the early 90s. They came out for the Holiday Bowl, and we said, what do you remember about your trip out here? He said, I went to SeaWorld and I loved it. Couldn't remember much about the game, and he was out for the Holiday Bowl, which, by the way, they announced today is going to be in the stadium but moved to January 2nd. So I guess it's the post-Holiday Bowl.
And he comes from a phenomenal coaching background. Like you said, his dad coached, but he's telling us his dad coached under Lou Holtz and Bill Snyder, some of the greatest coaches out there. And that's what he attributes his success as a young coach, is being around the game with smart people as a kid.
Denigal on first down, 17-0 Aztecs. Just over 5 minutes to go before half. He looked left and then underthrows Jordan Napier. Boy, at this point, they don't look much like Maverick and Goose, do they? Maybe they look like Maverick and Goose when they had that spin out and landed in the ocean in the first Top Gun.
Listen, I think that was a good play. We talked about it earlier. know when the play is over, throw the ball away. He did it right there. He learned from a previous mistake.
Well, they'll be better. Out of the shotgun, 2nd down and 10. Handoff. And that's Lucky Sutton with a spin move. Then he takes a hit shy of the 45-yard line. Burning a lot of calories to get 4 yards. It'll bring up 3rd and long for the Aztecs.
And you watch Lucky Sutton run the football. You can just tell he really wants to be behind his pads. But I think at some point, the San Diego State offensive line may start to wear down Stony Brook, and you see 4-yard gains turn into 44-yard gains.
And only 2 returners, Christian Jones and Ross Ulagalu. Mase Uli, the center, and he is a big boy. Pressure comes. That offensive line picks it up. Napier the catch for a 1st down, and he's inside Stony Brook territory at the 48.
And
Bryson Parker the stop.
Napier's doing a great job spreading the ball around the field. Again, that quick whip release is something that the Aztecs are benefiting from, and Napier picks up another catch in the first game of the season.
Pretty good first impression. He's got plenty of time, goes vertical, and almost got picked. Man, off the fingertips there.
As I'm watching Jordan Napier run his route, it didn't look like he was expecting for that ball to be thrown. He's coming across the side, and maybe it's also a little bit high. But again, Denegal and Napier, they will continue to create a connection there, but that was an obvious overthrow or an under anticipation by Napier.
That's Joseph Garcia, a senior from there in Jersey City, that nearly had the pick of Denegal, which would have been his first as an Aztec. Denegal 8 of 15, 143 yards, a touchdown, and a rating of 155.4. A little sidearm action, a catch for nearly a 1st down. That's Jerry McClure, UCLA transfer, who just gets absolutely lit up right there. Cam Johnson delivering the big hit. And these are the fresh number 2s now, putting a licking on the Aztec offense.
Again, I cannot say enough about that quick whip action from Jaden Denegal. He really gets the ball out of there, and McClure catches the ball, turns upfield, and runs into a surprise. But without that quick whip action, arm action from Denegal, that ball may have actually been a pick 6. So great job by those 2 players.
You kids watching at home, you can't tackle any better than that young man just did right there.
And that was form.
Got a whistle and a timeout. San Diego State.
It's their 3rd and final of the half.
That's their 3rd and final timeout of the half. It gives us a chance to tell you that San Diego State Athletics announces the launch of the Student Athlete Recruitment and Retention Fund, aimed at enhancing our program as we transition to the Pac-12 Conference next year. This fund will help us recruit and support top-tier student athletes. Contributions are tax-deductible.
Huge opportunity for the Aztec fans to get involved. NIL has definitely changed the landscape of college football, with San Diego State going to the Pac-12 next year and playing against some of the bigger programs, moving from the power, the group of 5 to the power 5. Those contributions are going to be very, very key to putting good teams on the field year in and year out.
Aztec Athletic Director J.D. Wicker will join us at half. I'm certain that we'll have a conversation about that, and also talk about the Riverwalk block party today that I went to. Here's Lucky Sutton off the left side. He's awfully close to the 1st down. He got upended by DeMario Crawford, but it's enough for another Aztec 1st down.
And again, you start grinding and grinding and grinding. What you start seeing is those 3-yard runs that you earned in the 2nd quarter turn into 33-yard runs in the 3rd and 4th quarter. So really impressed with how the Aztecs are continuing to stick to their game plan of running the football often.
It's already their 14th 1st down of the 1st half. We still got 3 minutes to go. Handoff to Sutton again. I love the trio of backs here as Sutton goes forward for 3. We still haven't seen a lot of Washington. He came in for the start of the 2nd quarter to give Sutton and Byron Cardwell a bit of a breather.
And you watch the left guard there, Kalen Ellis, working upfield and trying to get that seal block. And from my vantage point, it looked like it had every opportunity to split. But those guys are continuing to work hard up front.
Lucky Sutton has already carried it 12 times for 67 yards and a touchdown. Pulling guard here opens a hole for Sutton. He's got a first down run and a punishing second effort, and he's down at the 18-yard line. This is a heck of a trap block.
We just talked about that, right? Watch the trap block come around, and Lucky does a great job, again, of getting skinny, getting through the hole, and delivering the blow at the end of the run. Be the hammer, not the nail, and Lucky is an example of that.
That's the way he ran at Cathedral Catholic all those years ago, en route to a state championship for the Dons. We're at the 2-minute timeout here. 17-0 San Diego State. Let's go back in the Wayback Vault. December 4th, 2021. Lucky Sutton runs for 435 yards, 7 touchdowns in the California State Division I AA Regional Championship game against Orange Lutheran. Dons win it 71-62. Then a week later, Folsom held him to a mere 241 yards and a touchdown in the state title game. Cathedral won the state championship that year, and Lucky did score on his first touch of that state championship game against Folsom. What a career at nearby Cathedral Catholic. In what is his 4th season here, he is the featured back. Play fake to him, throw over the middle, and almost another interception. My goodness. They have dropped quite a bit here. That is Joseph Garcia, who's had not one but 2 chances at a pick here on this drive.
Yeah, this is a dangerous throw. It looks like the angle of that throw, a little bit of a tight end pop pass there. The angle of that throw was a difficult one, got away from Denegal a little bit, and almost turned into a disaster.
Brings up a 2nd down and 10. Aztecs are out of timeouts, under 2 minutes to go. Play fake. Denegal's going to take off, and Denegal will get a yard at best. And now they got to hurry up right here with a $1:46 and counting before halftime. And this is going to help out because Rodney Falk is the injured Seawolf player, an all-CAA preseason first-teamer who they can ill afford to lose. He had 10 tackles for a loss last season, 4.5 sacks, forced 3 fumbles, and I'm sure he's getting all he can handle from the offensive tackles for San Diego State. And they're 2 big guys, right? And Christian Jones and Joe Bourgeon, both 6'8".
You don't get any bigger than these guys. Joe is 6'8", 338, and they have Christian listed at 6'9", 330 pounds. When you see those guys in person, you know, they're tall, but they look like slim athletes, right? So those are the types of athletes that Aztecs are trying to recruit. Joe was a transfer from Arizona a couple of years ago. San Diego State was able to, or Coach Sean Lewis and his staff was able to lure him away from Cal. He was going to commit to Cal, came to San Diego State, really fell in love with the program. Last year, unfortunately, had a bad injury on the first game of the season, so missed the entire season. But the Aztecs are happy to have him back, and he is an NFL prospect. Joe Bourgeon is definitely an NFL prospect.
And the clock will start on my.
They're going to reset the game clock here. It'll start on the whistle. Now, Bourgeon hurting that Texas A&M opener, Texas A&M Commerce there, and he left with a season-ending injury. And then Christian Jones, he started the opener on the other side at left guard. They moved him to left tackle in the second half, and he played the rest of the season there with Bourgeon going down. And Christian Jones wound up taking all 846 snaps a season ago as a left tackle in Division I football. How about that? Clock starts inside of 90 seconds to go. 3rd and long for the Aztecs. Got a 17-0 lead. They would like to punch it in again and not have to rely on another field goal. Denegal fires, and it got batted down, and he bats down his own pass. He almost intercepted his own, or actually caught his own pass, which I've seen before. A.J. Roberts with the deflection. I saw Drew Bledsoe do that one time at Arizona when he was playing for Washington State.
Yeah, again, it's that quick release, trying to get the ball out of there. Defensive line was not fooled, just kind of stood their ground and put their hands up and made a play. Hats off to Stony Brook.
And here's Gabe Placencia. preseason special teams player of the year. He made his 13th consecutive field goal earlier in this quarter. Looking for a 14th to give the Aztecs a 20-0 lead, and it's pure.
What a great opportunity to have a weapon like Gabe Placencia. If you're an offensive coordinator, you know you can be aggressive in how you call the game, knowing that if you get stuck anywhere inside of your 40, you can just take 3 points, right? So Gabe Placencia has been a great weapon for San Diego State as an offensive weapon, and he's also really good at putting the ball through the end zone on kickoffs as well.
It's like Ellie De La Cruz, the Reds, being on first base. He's already in scoring position, right? So
exactly.
You're already in field goal range when you have Placencia, who is now 19 of 20 career. Last year, 13 of 14. That was the single season record at San Diego State. So with 1:09 to go in this first half, the Aztecs have a 3-score advantage as you look at Jace Freeman dropping back. And I'm not sure what adjustments Stony Brook and Billy Kosh are going to be able to make here against San Diego State in the second half. And that one is going to bounce its way out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. That's Hunter Green handling the place kicking duties there. 93. 1:09 to go, and the Seawolves will huddle up as an offensive unit here and try and kickstart it. And a couple of years ago in 2023, they were 0-10, longest turnaround and largest turnaround in FCS last year. They were picked to finish last in their league. They won 8 games. They placed 5th a year after going 0-10, huh?
Yeah, Billy Kosh kind of reminds me of Kenny Dillingham a little bit. He has that type of energy.
Casey Case is in, replacing Chris Zealous, and he misfires. His target was Des Williams. Dale Sean Staley in coverage, and there's the numbers on Case. Didn't appear in a game last year. He started 9 games for Stony Brook back in 2023, and when you talk to some coaches around the conference, he kind of limits the call sheet for Stony Brook in that he's not, two-dimensional like Zealous is, but really at this point, right, might as well change it up a little bit. His career started at Buffalo in the MAC, and they're going to get to him, and down he goes back at the 15-yard line. Aztecs with August Salvati, a junior, a Florida Atlantic transfer, with the first sack of the season for San Diego State's defense.
And when we talked to a coach, they said, hey, listen, August Salvati has it. He's potentially our best pass rusher. He has all the moves and all the swag. He's a 6'6" kid out of Clearwater, Florida. First sack of the year for August Salvati.
One of those guys with Ryan Henderson in that pin your ears back 3rd and 7 type of package. And there is Dempster, and Dempster on 3rd and 18 behind the sticks gets brought down, and that will likely be the final play of the first half for Stony Brook. Remember, San Diego State got it first. Stony Brook won the toss, so they'll have it, will the Seawolves, to begin the third quarter of play. And they'll be down 3 scores at 20-0. In a moment, we're going to get a chance to get the thoughts on Sean Lewis here at his first half. And quite the first half, his offense with 270 total yards. They ran for 111, had 15 first downs in that sack, and had it for almost 19 minutes here. And Coach Lewis joins us now. Coach, your thoughts on that first half of play where your offense was really dialed in?
Yeah, good start. I mean, obviously some red zone opportunities there that we need to finish and clean some things up. The defense is playing really well, and, it's a fairly clean game thus far.
Coach, how do you feel about Denigle's performance so far?
He's doing good. Like, settled in, a couple errant throws here and there that we can tighten up, but he's seeing the game good, making good decisions.
How about your defense real quickly, and then we'll let you go?
Yeah, I mean, playing great, right? Playing aggressive, doing a really good job, keeping the ball inside and in front, and rallying many hats to it. So pleased with their effort.
All right, Sean, we appreciate the time. Thank you very much.
Yep.
Sean Lewis got to be happy about 20-0 lead. There were some penalties. Again, they were, striving for no penalties. There'll be some laps the next couple of days at practice. But all in all, everyone's got to be happy about opening night here at Snapdragon Stadium. San Diego State in their 2025 opener trying to break a 6-game losing streak. They lead FCS Stony Brook 20-0.